Welcome to Real Estate 101. I'm Aimee Hartwig. Throughout this series, I will be digging into various real estate topics designed to help you better understand the buying and selling process. In doing so, I'll be enlisting the help of industry experts to give you better insight. Let's get down to business. Hey everyone, Aimee Hartwig here. I'm with Nick Carter, and today we're going to talk about the basics of lending. So if you're a first-time home buyer, what you need to know to get into a house and to get the lending process started. A lot of people, and I know I was one of them when I first bought a house, it was really scary. I thought I was never going to be qualified. I didn't make enough money. You know, I had good credit, but I just didn't think I would have been qualified to buy something as big as a house.
Right.
That's a huge misconception that I learned early on.
Yeah, there's everyone. We tell everybody here, everyone's a first-time home buyer one time, and it is very scary. And when my wife and I, same thing, we thought we were gonna, we don't need a buyer's agent. We're gonna go in and buy this condo together. And the real estate agent's like, you didn't even put the address on this offer, and you need a real estate agent. And again, didn't know, had no idea, and the lending, same thing. It was very, very scary because we didn't know what to expect. And the beauty of what we do here is that we sit down with people and we go over, hey, you know, the first step is to do an application. So we could look at your credit, we could look at your income. We calculate things different than most people would. You think, I make this much money. It's like, well, we can't use that commission because you haven't been there for this long.
Right.
But a lot of people think that you have to have a huge down payment, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions of buying a home is that, I need 20% down to go conventional. It's like, no, we have community seconds where they'll provide the entire down payment. We have FHA loans, which provide the 3.5% down. So we have all these different opportunities for people to buy a home, and with problems with credit, with problems with down payment, with things that they, again, like you said, I don't even think I could do it. We talked to them, and most people are really amazed that they could actually get pre-approved. And the homes that you could buy now, the payment with the way the rents are going is almost the same or better. To have a mortgage that's less than rent, and by the time they put down all these deposits and all the things, it's like, man, well, that was your inspection and appraisal cost, and they're in a new home. And so that's something that we do monthly, and that's really exciting for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And what kind of information will people need to provide you when they do come in?
Typically, we're going to ask for, what we call the meat and potatoes, where if they're self-employed, their business tax returns, their personal tax returns, and W-2s if they are a W-2 employee, and then a couple of bank statements and pay stubs. And with that, we run with it. We go over. And another misconception is that people are like, well, if you look at my credit, it's going to ding it. Yep. The most standard, what's going to happen is that it's going to affect it by 1 point is what I see.
Okay.
And when people are like, my Credit Karma score is here, there's about 15 different credit pulls, and mortgage is different than a car, different than a credit card. And so I've been looking at credit from my previous, I've been in the mortgage industry for over 10 years, and before that I was helping people with credit. So 20 years experience looking at credit. The 1 point that we may lose, I'm going to tell you things to say, hey, if you do these, there's a 99% chance we're going to get 5 to 20 points higher in the amount of time it takes while we're doing the mortgage, because I know how to get people's credit scores higher.
Okay.
So that's a big plus, and that deters people from wanting to apply, but it's like, hey, let's see where you're at, and if you're not in a position right now to buy a home, that's okay. I could at least get you on a game plan to say, hey, let's do this to your credit. After your income is here, after you've been on this job, we could use that income. Let's pay off that truck, or let's refinance it, get the payment down, and get a game plan that doesn't cost anything.
Right.
And make it to where, if you're not a buyer now, let's make it to where you can be in the near future.
Well, and there's no upfront costs for the buyer at all.
No.
So it's a simple process. We'll both help you through it if you are interested. And like you said, you don't even need a down payment, which is big, because when you're normally when you're buying your first home, you don't have a ton of money in the bank as it is.
Correct. Yeah. With the way that the rents are, with the way that people don't typically have that 20% down until they buy their first home. They get the equity, and then when they sell that first home, then they put 10-20% down on their next home, and then it's kind of a snowball. But again, you have to start somewhere.
Have to start.
And once you get that first home, it allows you to stair step up and make it to where you could eventually put a huge chunk down on your dream home and pay it off before you retire.
Absolutely. All right, thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks,
I
Aimee.
appreciate your help today.
All right.
Hope this was helpful, guys.